Hello, everyone. It's not easy for me to, you know, worry about the things concerning the world and my probation. So much I should have done, so much I needed to do. I kept saying, but I just could not draw myself away from the work. And now I need to tell my story. I knew from the beginning how, and it's more like the story that you've read than That's the one, if truly it's because of the other two times that I was wronged, and there's witnesses to all of this. But I let it go. I didn't open my mouth in court. No one opened their mouth for me. And there was witnesses. People know that I did not do these wrongs. This time what I did, though, I did do it, but I wasn't doing it for wrong. I need to tell my story so it's known. My story being known is the only thing that's probably going to save me from prison now. But I couldn't bring myself to thinking it, and I wasn't here for prison, but I have things to do here. I have the kids, I have things, I had big plans that got thrown off because of this probation. I wanted to use what, all that's been given to me in this world to try to do some good. Then I was just waiting for probation to be over. It's not me that I think that's the whole point. If it was, I would have been writing the letter. I couldn't even bring myself. I can write. I didn't. I thought from the beginning I'd write Judge Solis. I would, get through this. But I thought, well, we'll just get through the probation. And then, here I was a month away from it because of, not being able to pull myself away here and, everything with Mark and then trying to work. And then they, if anyone would look, they knew that was just the game that's played. That's how they make the money. And that's one good thing that will come, because in the end, when it's all done, my story's out. It will be ridiculous that they insisted that I should go. I'm going to jail because they insisted I needed 3 intensive outpatient. What could they possibly? I have no problem with no alcohol and drugs. The only drug I had a problem with was the Suboxone, that I don't even take that, and that's from my doctor. And that was what I was trying to get off of. I did something stupid, but it was between me and the Father. I had made my peace with what I did. It took me 2 months to decide to do what I did, and I did it, and I almost got all the way off the Suboxone in that 1 week. It's a story that my story needs to be told. And see, I have hundreds of people that know me. My customers, everyone knows that I don't drink. They know I quit. Everyone that's known me all my life, they know what I have achieved all at the same time, quitting the alcohol 8 years ago and building a store that no one has done in 20 to 30 years. No one has made it successful. That was my recovery. And now, because, I can't speak for myself. I couldn't, I don't worry about myself. I couldn't then, and now I have to, because I'm not going to be here. How do I explain to the judge, this is what's really happened here? It's not what you guys seem to think on paper. No, a judge, and I know Judge, I think it's pronounced Solis, or if he would have heard, I always thought I'd write him a letter so he'd know. And I thought, I wanted to write a letter when I decided, when my attorney told me to violate, go ahead. The miscommunication was he thought that I had some classes this time. No, I sent you a paper showing they're just now asking me, because I just got around to getting, he thought that they was wanting me to do more counseling, because he had asked me, have you done everything they've asked? Yeah, I actually did everything they asked. I went to all my things. I missed 1 year, 1 swab test, 1 probation visit, 1 because I was sick. I had, my lungs, which still hurt. It's so funny how it is. They hurt. They're not hurting now. Yesterday, day before, they was hurting. They hurt every now and then. So I know something's still there, but I don't worry. I'm not worried about me. I never have worried about me. It's not, especially these 4 years. I could not put my mind to my own business. Even my store is a mess. I was just waiting for probation to be over so I could start doing what now I'm ready within. But now I got to face the world. Now I got to face everything that I put off. But so the even my attorney and my probation has talked. Somewhere along the line they should have known. No, I hadn't had classes this time. I was just now. We sent him these papers. And this paper right here to my attorney, and I talked to him on the phone, and he's talking about. Did not give Nancy a copy of paperwork she signed. He filled it out and had her sign it. Oh, and when I did my evaluation, because of the rush, he basically was answering the last half of everything for me, but it wouldn't have mattered because they was going to make me do it. Just for their money, just for this system, how they do it. I want someone to sit here 4 years. All I do every morning, somewhere between, unless I get up earlier, but somewhere between 3 and, usually between 3 and 6, I'm up studying all morning. It's on every one of my tablets, every one of my, my whole life in these years are documented every minute studying. And then I make my video and then I go to work. That is all I do. That's all I've done for 8 years, but 4 years is when all this began. And but how do you explain this in court, So, I know if like I said, I could have written Judge Shalise. I could have, and I meant to before when I decided, about letting myself be violated, how it was supposed to go from the understanding that was given to me and how I even talked to my probation officer that, I just wanted it over, even so I could, really share a word with that probation officer. So I could feel, I just wanted this over, this authority over me, and then them, they should not have authority. They should not be able to, the classes, to take someone that clearly has proven and has hundreds of character witnesses and has, this proof right here, what I do every day of my life. And then they'll overlook everything and say, well, I think you have a problem. Where do you see that I have a drug and alcohol problem? Right? Actually, I had broken it, except this last month, all my Suboxone, I was making them last 4 months. I'm supposed to get 60 in. That was the whole reason I got in trouble, because I could not break it. The doctor would not help me. I asked him to help me. He would not give me nothing just for the pain. So I was doing, so to get down, it took me, I started doing tiny pieces, not even a quarter. And I do Tylenol, ibuprofen. And then I had to do sometimes energy pills, stackers and stuff, just to give me the energy to keep going in my job and my work. And, but I was only going 2 months. I could probably go a little over 2 months, make my prescription last. This is Nancy talking. See, in the world, I have every trouble on me. The only place I'm strongest, because I know what I know. But it's the things that I don't yet understand. I don't know what will happen. That's what troubles you. But, it was because I couldn't, and I wanted to be off of everything. I thought I need drug tests when the whole point was I wanted off of these prescriptions. I wanted to start speaking against the pharmaceuticals. All these things I've just got thrown off for probation, for what I did. But so I talked to even people for 2 months. I'd asked, this one and that one. It was something I did not take easy. What I did speed. I did speed to help the numb thing, but I wasn't doing it to the high. I was doing it just made me feel just like my Suboxone. it was a tiny, tiny bit just to make, because I couldn't get what I wanted, because I believe in what's natural on the earth. I don't smoke weed, and I'm a I have a lot of faith in cannabis. I don't know a lot about it, but just I know enough to know that it was wrong. It was that cannabis illegal and alcohol and cigarettes are legal. You see something wrong right there. Cannabis has a lot of good. Cannabis classified up there with heroin, So, and I mean, it has absolutely no medicinal value. Well, that's wrong because it has lots of medicinal value. And I don't smoke it. But what I wanted, I'm going to tell you what I wanted but I don't know. I don't communicate with people that do this. I have people come to my store. But what I had talked about, because I could only make my prescription 60 pills last just over 2 months, and I've been doing that. I've been making it. While I was doing that, I started stretching them out at least probably a year. I don't know. I could look at my pharmacy, to see how many I was getting, and each month. But I know it was 2 months that I was stretching them out for a long time, and I could not get. If I got down to a half, and then I'd get down to where I could do a quarter, like 3 days in a row. But then it's the cramps. Your whole stomach just cramps up, and that's So I started doing the energy pills and doing the ibuprofen and Tylenol, and and I got myself down to I don't know. I was maybe stretching it out for 2.5, maybe 3 months. Maybe sometimes 3 months I'd stretch it out. It's hard to go back, but the last ones, I mean, I know. So when I decided to do what I did, because I could not get off of them, I even talked to a couple of relatives. I said, I want to do this. I'm thinking to do this just to get off. I wanted natural cocaine. I don't do any drugs. You can check a test on me. There's no drugs that I do. I was doing it for medicinal, and that's what I wanted, because I knew what it did. It would numb it. It would numb my pain, just like this crud that they got me on. But I knew I wasn't going to be addicted to it. I was just doing enough to numb the pain so I could, and I even 3 days before I got locked up, I got a B12 shot. The idea was to get something to numb that pain and to start building up my body, putting right things. I was getting ready to become a health conscious health freak, but I needed to get off the Suboxone first. So, so I had talked, but I didn't, it's against myself, but really the medicinal, if it was cocaine, natural, if I had a leaf, I would have chewed on it like they do in other Brazil or wherever they do it in the rainforest. I wanted something natural to get me off of what the doctors have me on. So, and everyone, they knew what I was doing and what I was talking about, and they're like, Nancy, we think you're crazy. It's like, I know it's against me, but I knew what I was doing. And as long as my children and no one found out, it was just between me and the Father. And I knew, I knew what I was doing. And my videos and everything I've said and every word I've spoken for 2 years before I chose to do that shows that I'm true. Why I was doing what I did. And so I couldn't, I don't know. I was wanting to find the real, but you couldn't. So I thought, someone told me, well, you can try this. It will do the same thing. Because if I don't take my Suboxone, I would be on the floor. My pains are so bad. I don't. And I would have no energy to do my job, my daily work. So, but the whole idea, I was going to get better. I knew what I was doing. So I did it, and it was only that tiny bit, just enough to numb it, just so I was no high. I didn't even get no extra energy. I didn't do enough, even that. I bet it wouldn't even show up in a follicle test as little as I did, even with what I had on me when I got caught. But, and I had a panic, I panicked. The cop was wrong to pull me over, but I panicked. I avoided the cop. I wasn't usually having something like that on me. So he thought I was just avoiding him it wasn't until after his lights got behind me, I thought, oh, you stupid, you got that stuff. Although it wasn't no amount in it. It was kind of a little bottle, just the tiny, tiny bit in it. And I was even scared to do it. I was scared but I half trusted because I've known that person, which I don't think got in any trouble at all, but that's fine. But, which is still out there. But I've had cops. I have cops come in my store. I have my sheriff friend. I have, we get robbed. We have a detective comes in. They know that I'm not some drug head. No one would ever accuse me of being a drug head except someone trying to get money, and now my life and my children are why do you, for their greed, this is trouble. So, but I got to tell my whole story, and you don't have to watch it. I'm going to tell, I'm going to show my heart, because I locked up my heart a long time ago. And when you've seen the strength that I come and speak, that's the strength because of what I know, the things that I have, that has been shown. But myself in the world, I'm weak against the world, because, but after I did that 1 week, because I knew because I had gotten myself down. I didn't realize how good it worked until later when my pharmacist had said something. But I was only, planning, the one more week would have I would have been off. And because I had gotten myself to less than a quarter a day. In that first week, I was doing only a tiny, tiny piece of the Suboxone. And then after that, I stretched, first I wasn't even going, I think I was going 3 months. I got up to 3 months where I'd stretch it out. And after I did that, and then even going to jail, I got back out, still stayed on that little tiny piece. And that's when I was doing a lot of energy pills too, just so I wouldn't have to go back to that more and more Suboxone. Excuse me. Excuse me. But where's I at? So when I got out, I stayed on it, and it was the Suboxone. My pharmacist that was the first one to notify me how long I'm stretching them out. I went there, and that was the first time I'd stretched it out for 4 months. One prescription lasts me 4 months. See the whole thing, and that even my own prescription I'm trying to get off of lasting me 4 months was supposed to last me 3. What's the most wanted drug out on anyone else getting it? They're abusing it, they're selling it. Here I am doing it right, trying to be done with it. And if the judge knew these things, I was going to try to, but I couldn't bring myself to writing. I couldn't bring myself to thinking about me. I'm not about me. And now I have to focus on me, because I could be taken to jail any day. And I know it's just, you're still weak. It's just because of all that hasn't been said. Knowing that Judge Solis is righteous, is a good judge. I know he is. I believe that he is. I know that if he knew who I am, this would not be happening now. But is he going to ever hear? Because I couldn't bring myself to writing a letter. So now I'll have to. But it was my pharmacist that they know me there. They know what I'm doing to try to get off. Not what I'm doing, not what I did that week. 1 week in 8 years. 1 week is the only wrong I've done in 8 years. Since I quit my alcohol, I've worked. That's all I do, and take care of things and try to better my life and those around me. 1 week I did something to help myself to get off, and because of that. Yes, this is why I'm in trouble. But the thing is, it wouldn't have been so bad had I not been wrongly convicted twice. And those things I know will come out. The truth of those things will come out, and I need to tell the story. And my story is true. I was very wronged, and I wasn't only ended up being convicted for 2 things before this, but I was actually the victim both times, and there is witnesses. There was witnesses to all of it. And, but because of who the first time was, and I've shared a little bit, I don't like doing it. That's why, because I wanted to go, but now it seems like it needs to come out. Because of who the first one was, is why I just let it go. And I just took, I think I was on probation 2 years. I ended up doing, I think, months in jail, or 70, I don't know how long I did then. And then ended up No, when I didn't open my mouth, I didn't know when they didn't. They wasn't even spoke for. There was no, I just, nothing was even hurt. Had it been hurt, I would not have been convicted. But it was family, so I let it go, and I just got through it, and that's what I was trying to do this time. And then the other time, I understood why they lied for who they lied for, because I didn't even know what happened until everything got. I didn't even know what happened until 2 weeks, I guess, after it all happened, and I got out of jail, and I asked neighbors, and the neighbors is what told me, Nancy, you wasn't the one driving your car. And there was an eyewitness, at least one that I know there. But also my children had come and I couldn't even walk, and my children come and got me out of my passenger seat. And I don't know if they had to take me out of the seatbelt. I think they might. I'm not sure if they had to take me out, but they come out. I got to tell my story. But yes, those 2 times I was not only innocent, I was the victim both times. The first time I was the one that had gotten hit in front of 4 or 5 witnesses. I was attacked from behind me. And my last words to them was, I got to go make peace. And then the next thing they know, I'm being taken to jail. In that 1 minute you're saying you got to go make peace, the next minute you're taken to jail. And the other one, I was threatened by the cop, and I didn't even know what had happened, like I said, until afterwards. But she said if I didn't agree, and I was even out of it, I wasn't even coherent. All I remember her telling me was, I'm going to go back and take your son to jail. So I said, she knew I couldn't write, and I said, I can't write. I didn't, I was, it was so bad. It was so bad, and I was so wronged. But if these come out, and if any judge do that, and I believe judges, that's why. So, this probably I would have probably had had I not had those on my record, I would probably just have my hand slapped. I would have probably not been so, because knowing that, here I am knowing that I've been, wrongly convicted twice, and I've endured it and did all that I was supposed to do. And then here I am knowing what they think of me, because they don't know that this isn't me. So yes, I know what it is to be wrongly judged and be innocent and judged. And in this case, although I did what I did, it wasn't for wrong that I did it. And I know I'm innocent in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the Father, because I wasn't doing it wrong. I was doing it for what was good. I was doing it I knew it was the lesser evil, and I was doing it to get off of this Suboxone so I could become, a spokesman against the pharmaceutical companies. And I know it all this. I hate even talking about myself, but it's because I didn't talk that I'm in this position that I am now. And, the whole thing with letting them violate me. And then yesterday, my attorney's like, my probation officer, we even talked about it the other day when I was there. Well, how I understand it, he says, your attorney wants us to go ahead and, you don't sign this, that you'll agree for 6 months of drug and alcohol. And because that was, even my probation understood that was, I was advised from the attorney that, we could do it this way. I was assured that I would not go to jail, that they'll violate me. We go to court. We're going to offer, present the case then. He said, we'll deal with it in court. Now, yesterday he says, oh, I thought you told me. He told me I told him that I had went through some classes. I said, no, I didn't. And he said, well, if you didn't, why didn't you do it until now? I said, because I have a job. I have a son that's basically schizophrenic. I said, I just got around to it, and that was the whole point. Now here I am 3 weeks away from should be off. They want me to do another 6 months of probation. And then you tell me that I can get out. Yeah, I'm going to. So I took your advice, violate me. And now I'm wanted. I got a warrant. And, but it's just, I will endure, and it's just what do you do? It's like, you gotta let this, I don't know. You know, and I have other people connections. I mean, all this time, if I could have thought of myself, you know, if I just was I thought it will be over. I'll just, you know, I was just gonna get through this probation. I thought it was gonna be over soon. I would have had, if I known that this was gonna happen, I would have went ahead and just done it. I would have endured through the foolishness of their IOP. But he told me there's a way out. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. Then I'll be done with it. Let me just pay some money to the courts. I'll be done. You know? And that's what it was supposed to be. And now, here I am, not knowing what's going to happen. But I know Judge Shalice knew. You know. So, I'm going to tell my story. I got to, just for the record, and but as you know, it's not easy for me to, but it's part of my testimony. It's, you know, you'll know more how I come to where I am. You know, you'll see more of the strength when I speak. And why I'm bold is because I know. I know it's all shown to me. I know salvation. I know what it is. And I know that this even what's happening with me. You know, it's not, but my life, like I said, it wasn't about me. But it will, but all these things will still be known. And the testimony and what was given to me, all this will still be known. It's just I have to endure these things. And I love you all. And I had a lot to share with you yesterday in videos that I didn't post. And, you know, one reason it's hard, another reason you have to stay strong against the world, those who will come against you. So I haven't showed my heart. I told you how I cried all the time when I was young, and now this wasn't my normal state. My strength is only in what I know and what's been given to me. It's life, and it's the life of the world. It's life for all, and I know it will be accomplished. I don't think I know these things. I know what's been worked. I know what's in the Word. I know why and how things are done. And I'm going to try to share some of these things. You know, if you don't see me wild, then just know. I just needed to share this so, you know I need to share my whole story. You know, I've done nothing wrong in 8 years. From the time, you know, that's my new life. I turned over. That's what I said, be with me. I'm going to do my best. I mean, you know, and I've accomplished so much, you know, and and now it was time for me to use what is given to me in my life here and to use the wisdom, to use everything in every way to bring, you know, to share and to make good things happen. And I don't want to take any more time. Just know I love y'all. Bye for now.